before maybe before the pandemic, is it? Or during the pandemic, okay, about 4 years ago, okay. All right, so this is my contact informations. Okay, I'm Dr. Wong. Okay, this is my room and this is my email. This information is for you to contact me if you need any consultation. Right? Of course, don't certainly email me. Okay, for example, sir, can I meet you this afternoon, and so on. Better maybe 1 day in advance and so on. Because I'm not going to read the email so frequently, maybe some time. Okay, so please give me 1 day in advance the notification. Via email, I prefer email. I prefer email. Okay. So please jot down if you need this information. You also can find this information from our website. Right. Alright, so let's talk about what we are expecting from you after you have completed this course. Okay, so you should be able to understand those basic terminologies related to technology called blockchain, right? And then you know types of blockchain that we have. Okay, what kind of blockchain platform that you can use to develop your blockchain-based applications, things like that. The technology behind this technology, what made this blockchain technology possible. Okay, all these things, all these are theory, is so because this learning outcome here, the number one, is the one that we're going to test you in your final exam. Okay, so all those theory. Okay. You're not expected to do any coding and so on anymore in your final. No one is going to ask you to write a code, a piece of code to do something and so on. Maybe you do this in your course related to programming and so on. Ask you to write C++ program or C or Java or whatever. Okay, to accomplish something. No, you are not going to ask. Going to be asked for this one. Okay. Right, next, after the completion of this course, you should be able to build a very simple blockchain-based application. This is the main objective of this course. Okay, so what's the name of the course you are taking? Yes, application, right? So you must be able to develop the blockchain-based application at the end of the course. All right. And of course, we are not going to ask you to use many different blockchain platforms to do it. We will focus on one single selected, this famous blockchain platform. Maybe some of you know, it's called Ethereum. Okay, usually in those professional training outside. Okay, for example, a 5-day training. If you are working, usually your company willing to send you to all this kind of professional workshop they can have a chance to go for professional qualifications. Blah 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 certificate blockchain developer something like that. 5 days, usually 5 days. You know how much it costs, for a 5-day workshop like this? Have you attended a 5-day workshop before? 5 days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 days, whole day. Then got tea break, lunch at the hotel, this restaurant and so on. Okay, how much it will cost you? Roughly 1,000, 2,000. I tell you I don't know now. Okay, maybe now because of inflation, okay, getting more pricier and so on. Okay, usually for a professional this kind of workshop or training, they'll charge you about more than 5,000. Okay, more than 5,000. Okay, so you're lucky. At Dai UMT, we offer this blockchain application development related course also. Okay, so you don't need to learn from outside. Okay, if you want to learn the same content, okay, it will cost you about more than 5,000 ringgit, not USD, ringgit. Okay, okay, you're lucky. Okay, so please take this opportunity to learn as much as possible from this course. Okay, this is talking about learning outcome number 2. I hope everyone can. And, now maybe you don't know how to develop. Okay, I hope at the end of the course you know how to develop. And please try to compare. I know you have develop maybe some kind of I call it conventional application before lah. As a student now, you are a bachelor, right? I think during your diploma also, you should have developed some application already. Maybe using PHP, simple web applications and so on. Am I right? Have you developed any application before that can work? Yes, no, never. RS student, is it? No, everyone should have, because programming, okay, is a fundamental course that you need to take, right? I think you should have a simple, maybe web application, okay? Alright, so you try to observe and compare what will be the differences between this kind of conventional application development with the one that you are going to do, blockchain-based application. Okay, then you know there are some substantial differences up there. Okay, so please observe throughout the course. Alright, next, the last one. Okay, the last learning outcome. Okay, so we also hope that you can learn how to actually work in a team. Okay, to produce the blockchain-based application that we want. Okay, how to work as a team sometimes it's not easy. Okay, how to actually make your team members work. Also sometimes not easy. Maybe you have because the assignments. Okay, for information lah. Assignments going to be group based. Yeah, happy. Group based. I can with my friends again. Okay, group based is very common lah. There will be a few people there working very hard. A few maybe goyang kaki and so on, right? Okay, agree or not? Okay, so this is no good lah. Okay, so try to take this opportunity when you are doing this group assignment. Try to have more interaction with your team member. Have a proper planning. Have a good teamwork lah. In other words, okay. How to do that? You should have more communications. Communication is a very important thing when you are doing a task in form of a team and so on. Okay, so you need to learn. Okay, so this is an opportunity for you to actually learn how to develop an application. Okay, in a team. Maybe you can do it one man show. In solo you are good. Okay, but how you are going to work with others? Let's say this assignment is going to be divided into different modules, different parts, and so on. And then how you coordinate with each other. Make sure when you integrate, it will work properly. Okay, how you communicate the problems and so on. Communication is a key word. Okay, alright. So these are the things okay, that we expect from you after you have completed this course. Right. So any questions so far? So far so good. Right. Let's move on. Right, so for references, okay, I think it's fine for you to get from internet. I think nowadays seldom students are willing to buy books. Okay, they have. I know they need to teach you how to get the material. You all don't know where to get the books and so on. Okay, no whether legally or not legal. Okay, so I always prefer material online. Okay. Because I cannot say this is a new technology anymore. Okay, it has been there for some time. However, it's evolving very fast. Okay, so you better refer to online material to get the latest update. Okay, of course, if you love to read books and so on, you can actually search in our library. There are a lot of online versions. For the references, you can search, you type blockchain, smart contracts, so on, you come up. Okay, you can read online. Okay, no need to buy lah. Okay, basically, if you refer to my lecturer, okay, so okay, please settle yourself quickly. Okay, so if you refer to my lecturers, I think it will be sufficient. But more importantly, you must pay full attention during my lecture, because I have a habit to actually to emphasize on a lot of important thing. You read the note, it won't tell you. But I will emphasize. When I stop there, I talk a few times. You must be be careful. Okay, it's something very important for you. Okay, so important things I will emphasize. Alright, so it's important for you to attend every lectures and pay attention to what I'm saying. Or else you might miss something because a lecture note will not emphasize. Right? Alright, so we only have lecture 2 hours and practical 2 hours. I think most of you, I think all of you actually have done your first practical. Okay, because the lab instructor is not having classes on Friday, so I believe all the practical all done. Okay, all right. This is also something no good. This kind of setting because lecture is the last. Okay, so you have your practical earlier. Okay, sometimes you might not be able to understand some of the things mentioned by your lab instructor. So I cannot do anything because this is the timetable that we have, right? Alright, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask, okay, during the lectures or after the class. Okay? And material, of course, as usual, available in Google Classroom already. I think you have your lab materials, lecture notes. Okay, and also for information, we'll do some kind of exercise during the lectures. In Google, they have a feature called practice set. It's quite nice. I'm not sure whether you have used it before. We call practice set. Okay, so I prepared some important practice set for all of you. Okay, not every lecture I will select at the right timing to give you to do practice, to do some exercises. It's important because you don't have tutorial, right? Okay, you don't have tutorial, zero. Tutorial actually quite helpful because it can prepare you for your final exams. How you have a feeling, what kind of questions might come out and so on, right? But you don't have it. So you will be lost maybe when you first come to your final. Of course, you must refer to past year questions. This is the only way to help you when we don't have any tutorial. So to make up this, I want to give you some exercises. You can think of those exercises to be given as your mini tutorial, okay? So you can actually practice, okay? So that you'll be more confident in your final. So make sure you do all the practice set that I will give you, okay? Alright, okay, I think everyone inside already. We have about 121 students. Okay, so I'm not sure. I haven't checked the name list in the Google Classroom. If you are not in yet, please let me know. Okay, I can actually invite you. Okay, so everyone inside the Google main classroom already. I think Dr. Gary already invite all of you. Right? Okay, then we move on. Okay, this is important for you to strategize how to score, how to become excellent in this course. Okay, of course you won't strategize how to fail, right? I believe. Okay. Okay, you can use this information to do your strategy. Okay, so you can see from here, this course is more on the practical side. 70% of your mark for this course, the whole course, come from your coursework. 70%. So it's very important you do your assignment. Okay, so we assess your coursework via assignment and also test. There is a test also. Okay, this will contribute 70%. Okay. If you do very well in your exam, but your coursework is not good, most likely overall you will not get a very good result. Okay. And also we have a final exam and it contribute about 30%. Okay. Even though it's 30%, it's important, Even you can do very well in your assignment, or get maybe 90 out of 100. Okay, contribute 70%. But if you fail your final exam, you still fail. Okay, if you get mark less than 40, right? Okay, you will fail your whole course. So a lot of students, this is from my past experience. A lot of students, not a lot of students, some students, okay, they fail because final exam. They did very well. I don't know why maybe one of the name inside the assignment, right? Okay, your friends and help you and so on. Okay, because it's a group assignment, most of you will be having almost the same mark with a slight difference for individual part. Okay, but most of you will be around that range. But you score very well, maybe because of your friend contribute a lot, but they are not paying attention in your lecture. Then you fail your exam. Then sorry, you fail the whole course. That's why I can see you again. Okay. Alright, so this is the structure of the assessment. Please pay attention. Alright, so this will be the things that we're going to cover in this course. Okay, you can take a look first. Okay, so this is just an introductory course lah. Okay, so we are not to cover too deep. Okay, but we'll cover those essential things that you need to know regarding blockchain. Right. So there are only a few chapters. Okay, so things to be covered, like of course we need to introduce to you about these technologies. Okay, what this blockchain is all about. Okay, what made this blockchain possible. Okay, what are the important technology behind to support these blockchain technologies. Okay, what types of blockchains we have that we can use for developing our applications. Okay, so all this will be covered. Okay, and then after that you will be exposed to one platform. We need a platform to study. Okay, the platform is important because you need to employ or deploy your program to that platform. Okay, to run something called smart contract. Okay, so nowadays there are many. There's so many blockchain platform updates. So in this course we cannot cover all. So we choose a de facto one. Okay, the most popular one. Okay, if you go for professional trainings outside, also they will teach you this platform called Ethereum. Okay, so we use that one also in our course. Okay, so we also will introduce something called smart contract to you. Okay, you learn what this is all about. Basically, it's a program. Okay, and then apart from Ethereum platform, we also introduce another, but this is touch and go only lah. Because we always think it's good for you to learn more than one platform, which is very different in nature. This is a permissioned blockchain. It's different from the public blockchain like Ethereum. So good to give you some exposure, but you don't need to focus on that lah. You cannot tahan. I don't think you can take it. Okay, so focus on one single one, Ethereum. Okay, but you have some knowledge on another one. Okay, this will help you. Okay. And then also at the end we will discuss together some other topics which can be more advanced lah. Okay, but only touch and go lah. We're not going to go too deep into that because there are actually a lot of topics or issues okay, related to blockchain. Just select the important one to give you some exposure. Alright, so everyone, so these are the things that you'll be expecting from this course. Okay, I think the content is just nice okay, for this period of learning time. Right. For the test I mentioned just now, so we'll do it in week 8. In week 8, and then assignments. Talking about assignments, my planning is to actually release to you maybe next Friday. Okay, week 2. My planning. I usually will get input from the industry. Do you feel very hot? No. I was sitting early in the morning. I feel very cold. Not very hot. Okay. So I usually get problem statements for the industry, for companies, alright, to give assignments to all of you. Okay. So you know that usually what are needed in a company. Okay, of course, not a very big scale problem statement. You cannot do because you have just doing your assignment. How many weeks only, right? It's not like FIB you have how many, maybe more than 6 months time, right? Okay, or 8 months time. But you only have a few weeks. Okay, most of you will not start the assignment for week 2 one. Okay, you wait for that last few weeks. Okay, so don't laugh lah. I know lah, you are very busy. Okay. So you have a few weeks to do that, so I will filter. Usually I will skew down. Okay. I don't want to reuse previous assignment. Try not to lah. So I always try to include new one. So I received one from one company. So I try to see whether I can refine it. So to make it just nice as a assignment. Okay. If too complicated, you won't be able to complete in time. If too easy, then you can finish in one day. Okay, so I have a lot of work to do. Alright, so that's why I cannot release to you so early. So if possible, next week, next Friday. If not possible, next Friday. Okay, it doesn't matter because not all of you going to start immediately. Alright, I believe. So I will take some time in my lecture to explain to you about the assignment. Don't worry. Okay, when I release to you. Okay. Most likely I'll explain the assignment in week 3 lah. Okay, now it's week 1, week 3 lah. I can explain in week 3 lah. So I don't want to talk about the assignment too much today. Okay, when we come to assignment, I'll let you know more about the details. Right. Okay, so about the submission is already fixed. Submissions you need to submit by week 13. Okay, to give some time for your lab instructor, Dr. Garrett, to actually go through your presentations and look at your assignment report, things like that. Okay. Alright, I think the times given will be enough. Okay. Okay. So the rest are standard. So I'll give you the pin code. Okay, during the lectures. Please remind me when you come near to the end of the class. Okay. Dr. Wong still, Dr. Wong still haven't provided important information for you to take your attendance. Okay, please remind me, raise your hand. Don't worry, I won't be angry. Okay, remind me. Okay, and also for information, during the lecture, usually I will give you the options to have a bread, struck bread, or straight. Continue until the end without bread. Okay. So if you want to have a break, that means maybe we cannot end earlier lah. Okay. If you prefer to have these lectures continue until the end without a break, then maybe we can stop at around maybe 9:45. Something like that. So now once again, please raise your hand. Okay. Who want to have let's say about 5 minutes break every time? Please raise your hand. That you wouldn't be able to, we won't be able to end earlier for you lah. Okay, how many of you wants to have a short break every time? I think you also cannot tahan. Okay, listen to me continuously. Very tired. Okay, correct or not? Listening also very tiring lah. Correct. Okay. Okay. No one raise Got lah. Okay, one. Okay. Okay. How many of you want to finish up earlier without any break for lecturer? I suffer only lah. Please raise your hand. Hey, come on. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, I don't know what happened to the rest. They're having no opinions. Now I follow the majority lah. Okay, so I continue lah. Okay, one no big problem lah. Okay, because the problem is on my side only whether I can tahan or not. Okay. Alright, so we decided so I will continue without a break because this is what I found. If you break for 5 minutes, then the second half different one, Okay, the second half not as energetic, attentive as the previous half. Usually this one will happen. That's why I also don't like. So we bear with me lah. Okay, maybe for a continuous lecture like this. Okay. Alright. Okay. So please be active lah. Please ask question. Okay. Alright, so please enjoy this course and don't be this guy lah. Okay, no good lah. I don't want to see something like this happen in my class. I think how many of you from Melaka? Anyone from Melaka? Anyone from Melaka? No one from Melaka one here. No? This is taken from Melaka Zoo. Okay. Maybe you have seen this leopard before. Alright, so I have given you an overview. So I hope you know about this course already, okay, and know what are the things to do from now. Alright, next we are going to start our lecture. Any questions so far? Any questions? No? Okay. Okay, allow me to drink some water first. Even though there is no bread, okay, but I still need to drink water. Feel free to go to toilet anytime. I don't need to let me know. Okay, so usually for the first lecture, I'm not going to go too deep. Okay, it will be a very light session. Okay, usually for my first lecture. Okay, so we'll do a ice breaking first. Okay, so I want to learn more about you. Dr. Wong might ask me question. Alright, so this is an elective course, elective, right? So nobody forced you to take, right? I believe well. You're not forced by anyone to take this course, right? Clear or not? Yes, Okay, tell me. What's the reason you want to take this course? There's so many options up there. Not so many, a few options up there, right? That you can take. Why you take? Learn different thing, Other courses also you can learn different thing. Why you choose this course? Someone said this Dr. Wong very nice one. We can pass one. Is it no lah? Okay. What's the reason? This is something very new to you, Okay, so you want to learn more, Maybe, Our friends, what's your reason? A few company, they're having a project maybe in this area, right? Yeah, this is correct. Okay, a lot of company, because I have a lot of contact from companies doing this blockchain related project. They already talk to me, we very difficult for us to find talents in this area. It's true. I'm not sure how many university actually offer this course. You can Google around, you can search. Actually not many. Okay, so there is a very sad thing. Today you are here, you can join this course because you are following something called computing standard. Okay, yeah, of course, as a student, you're not familiar with that. But for lecturer, we know that we need to design a program according to computing standard. This is followed by every university one. And recently, not recently, last year, we got a new standard. Then a lot of changes. Then at the end, a lot of elective not allowed. Okay, and then blockchain also one of the subject that cannot fit well to the new standard, computing standard. Okay, so maybe in future we have how to say, less chances for students to actually take this course. Okay, maybe limited to one program and so on. Okay, so you're very lucky still okay, still can take. The previous batch of students also very lucky. They can take. Maybe in future, if you want to take also you cannot take. You will not be inside your elective course anymore. Okay, it's something very sad. Okay, I think a lot of students, they are interested to learn about this. Okay, demand from the industry because it's something new. Okay, let's ask one more. I ask the people sitting in front, but no choice. If not, we cannot hear very well. Hello, our friend, what's the reason? Interesting, How you haven't learned, how do you know it is interesting? Others seems like boring. Okay, so no matter what kind of reason, what I want to say is this is something that you have chosen. So please okay, study properly okay, what you want not here to sleep and so on okay, to pass your time and so on. This is what you want, agree or not, everyone? Okay, if not, you are not here. Okay, alright, next let's go for this introductions to blockchain. This is our first lectures. Okay, a very light sections to introduce to you. Okay, no, I'm not going to go through many slides, only a few. Right, but today I want you to grab some fundamental principle of these technologies. Okay, you don't need to have so many important key takeaway every day. If you manage to capture some knowledge, some new thing, okay, that you're not aware before you enter this class, I will be very happy already. Because you have so many lecture every day, right? Okay. So from every lecture, you manage to get a few important things that will change your perceptions, understanding, and so on. That will be good enough already. Okay. All right. Ah. So I will start with a date. 3rd of January, 2009. How many years from today? About 15 years already. Okay. So this is an event happened 15 years ago. Wow, 15 years ago. The time you were a kindergarten student? No, 15 no. Primary school, Yeah, primary school, Okay. So an event happens, and this event, at the end, caused you and me here today, in this room. Okay. So, what is the event happened on 3rd of January 2009? Your wild guess is okay. I know you all very pandai in guessing. You are very near to me, so anything you can guess? Bitcoin. You see, now I get once again a typical answer from PA UMT student. So PA UMT student will love to give me keyword, and then up to me to interpret and so on. It's a typical answer you can observe, right? Okay, in your others lectures also, okay, tutorial also, okay. Can you elaborate further? Give him a sentence at least. Release of white paper of Bitcoin. Very near to that timing, but not on this day. Okay, actually, this is the date when Bitcoin, yes, related to Bitcoin, but it's not related to white paper. Okay, it's the day, okay, when Bitcoin first came to existence. That means it become available. Okay, it become available, something that people can use. Bitcoin, you will start to see something called Bitcoin on this day, right? So first transactions was made, okay, using Bitcoin on this day. Of course, white papers is also important, okay. White paper actually released much earlier lah, okay. You might have the concept, the design, everything first, right? Before you can have the actual thing, okay. So what's a white paper? White paper actually is a paper for you to describe your concept, your theoretical concept on some things and so on, right? Okay, so this is white paper. Usually people will use that. Not so technical, okay, not a lot of details inside. This is white paper. Okay, we will have first white paper, and then of course someone develop it, and then we have the Bitcoin network, and then we roll out this blockchain Bitcoin network. Okay, so it's on this day. Okay, before that, no. Okay, and why we want to talk about Bitcoin? Okay, so this is a white paper my friends here mentioned. Okay, it's a very famous white paper. Okay, this white paper describes how Bitcoin network work. Okay, in terms of the concept and so on, theoretical concept and so on. Okay, if you are interested, you can go and download. It's available. Okay, it says Bitcoin white paper. It will come out already. Okay, you can take a look. Okay, what are the content inside? If you are curious I mean okay, you'll find it's really not too technical. Okay, and it's written by someone called Satoshi Nakamoto. Okay, which is the creator of Bitcoin. I think all this you know correct? Okay, so who is this Satoshi Nakamoto? Anyone know? Is it a lady? Is it Japanese? Are you sure? Is it a Japanese? His name sounds like a Japanese, right? Okay. Actually, until now, it's a mystery. Okay? No one know. You ask me also, I don't know. Okay? Only the name look like a Japanese, that's all. Okay? But Japanese can, I don't know, because for the analysis, they believe this is not a Japanese because the English user, okay, very good in English. Usually our possession in Japanese cannot speak very good English. It can be wrong also. Some can speak very fluently. All right, but no one know, and a lot of people claim they are this Satoshi Nakamoto. Okay, but no one can provide a concrete evidence. Okay, it may be a group of people, you know. We don't know. May not be a single person. Maybe this refer to a group of people. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So people still actually looking for answer Until now, still a mystery. Alright. Okay, but important thing is the idea inside. Okay. So in this white paper, Satoshi Nakamoto introduced something called a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Okay. A peer-to-peer electronic cash system. So what's the purpose of this? This is a system that allows you to transfer fund without going through a orang tengah, intermediary, okay, like banks and so on, financial institutions and so on. Okay, so you can straight away transfer the money from your account to another person's account. Okay, something like this, very fast. Okay, without you having to go through the bank and give the banks very high commissions, transaction fees, and so on. Maybe you take days because not easy. Have you ever tried to transfer money to another country before? Let's say transfer money to US, to this Japan and so on, or Germany and so on. No, right? So actually the process is quite tedious. Okay. You need to pay a very high this transaction fee. Okay, so this Satoshi Nakamoto thinks this is no good. Okay, if possible we can skip all this intermediately. Okay, we can if it will be better if we can have something or system that can give a lot of transparency on what happens to our money. Okay, things like that. Right, so he proposed this one. Actually, this is not something very new, you know, because before Bitcoin, there are a lot of people already they propose a system that can do this fund transfer electronically, not physically, like this bringing your physical note and pass to him, electronically, okay, peer to peer, also peer to peer, not going through a intermediary, okay, right, but those systems actually not working well. They fail. But the idea from this Satoshi Nakamoto successful because this proposed peer-to-peer electronic cash system by Satoshi Nakamoto managed to tackle one important issue. Okay? So anyone know what is the issue that has been solved by this proposed peer-to-peer electronic cash system? Others, before that, many years ago, before this, okay, we have already a lot of proposal, a lot of system trying to realize the same thing. However, there's an important issue that you must solve. Other cannot solve. But Bitcoin solve. What's the problem, you think? If you cannot solve this problem, your system, whatever the new similar kinds of system you're going to propose will fail. Okay? Security, not can be related to security. Yes. The important problem that you need to solve is double spending. Double spending problem. Okay. Let's say now buying something from a store, maybe Bila Mart and so on. You go to Bila Mart. Sorry, I'm very poor. I only have the green color one. Okay, cannot buy anything from Bila Mart maybe. Right. So when I'm using a traditional physical note like this, right? Okay. When I pass the note to the cashier, okay. So now I want to transfer fund, right, from my side to you, right? Okay, so you will, what will you do? You are cashier, right? Do one So you will actually take it and then put inside. There's a tray, right? Then it will pop up, and then you put the money and keep all the money inside, right, Karina? Okay. So in this case, this kind of method, this kind of fund transfer method, is totally safe. You won't the things that I mentioned, the problem that I mentioned just what's the problem? Double spending, right? It will happen now. Can I use this same one because it's inside your tray already, right? Okay. Can I use it again to make another appointment to someone? Make another payment to someone? Cannot, right? Possible or not? Cannot duplicate, right? Yes. So there is no issue when we are using this kind of traditional way, okay? However, when we want to do it electronically, it might happen, right? It might happen. Don't ask me how it will happen, but technically, theoretically, it can happen, okay? It depends on the system you propose, right? Or not, okay? So you need to have ways, mechanism to prevent this. Because same money, if not done properly, I can spend 2 times. Let's say my Bitcoin, 10 Bitcoin, I first send to you, and then the same Bitcoin, possible, I send to another person. Okay? So this is double spending, or triple spending also might happen. So this is something not allowable. If this is possibly happen, although we say most likely won't happen, but it can happen, would you believe, will you trust the system for you to do fund transfer? No, right? Okay? You might not receive the money and so on, or someone might spend more than one time. Okay? So this is a big problem. Okay? So, in this proposal by Satoshi Nakamoto, managed to solve. That's why it become popular. That's why we use it until today, right? Bitcoin, right? Without major problem. Okay? Okay, so how this can be achieved and so on. If you want to know roughly about the way, the mechanism behind, you may go through the content of this white paper. Up to you, okay, if you want to delve in the detail. Okay. All right. Okay, now what I want to talk Bitcoin is Bitcoin actually serves as a base for blockchain technology. Okay. Before that, we don't have blockchain technology. Okay. In the design of Satoshi Nakamoto, they use the concept of block. If you go through the white paper, you will definitely see blocks mentioned inside the paper. This is the first time maybe, okay? We have this kind of idea to have record stored inside block. Everything starts with record, okay? Stored inside block. Transactions, record of transactions, okay? This is also the next thing I want to clear your mind, alright? Transaction. That's why I mentioned Bitcoin is a system for you to do fund transfer, right? Okay. So in this kind of system, okay, the transactions will happen. So the transactions will be the fund transfer. I transfer certain amount of money to a recipient. Clear or not? Okay. So this is transactions. Okay. Most of you will also associate transaction with this. Okay, I think most of you will think of this transfer of money okay, from someone to someone. Okay, as a transaction. This is nothing wrong, it's correct. Because transaction is a term that we are going to use very, very frequently in our course. So all of you must understand what are transactions. Okay, I've given you one simple example. Right? Transaction can be fund transfer, right? What about the content inside? So you can roughly think of things like sender information, recipient informations, amount, right? I think that's all, right? You can do the transfer already, right? Okay, so these transactions. Okay, so inside this blockchain technology that we're going to learn, the first thing is we must store transaction in blocks. Okay, we prepare the block first. Okay, blockchain, right? There are two components there. If you break this word blockchain, one is block, another one is chain, right? So now today you are here sitting here to understand more about blockchain. What do you mean by the block? What do you mean by the chain? Okay, enough today. If you before that maybe you don't understand what's block, what are blocks, and what are chains, and then why we put it together. Okay, so this idea is the main concept in blockchain technology that make it secure, make your transaction secure. Okay, you want to secure your transaction. Okay, blockchain is the way, okay, to secure a transaction. All right. So I can refer to these slides again. So you can see now I introduce another keyword here, broadcast. Transactions are broadcast to the network. Okay, let me use another diagram, maybe more interesting. You can take for internet how this thing, right? It be proper citation. Alright, this will give you an overall ideas on the whole blockchain process. We call it a process. Okay, so what will be the first thing to happen when we are using blockchain? Alright, so we will need transaction, of course. No transaction, then no story. Okay, so someone must initiate some transactions. Of course, the easiest example for transaction will be the fund transfer that I mentioned, right? Okay, actually transaction not limited to that. When we talk about transactions, it depends on what application that we are talking about. In the real world, we have so many different kinds of application, right? Funds transfer, electronic payment, and so on, whatever you call it, is just one type of the these applications. We can have other application that can make use of blockchain technologies. Okay, not limited to Bitcoin, those things. For example, a voting application, voting, balloting, voting. Okay, in your practical also you're going to develop a voting application based on blockchain. Okay, so voting also can be one of the example applications that can trigger transaction, that can initiate transactions. So can imagine what will be the things inside transaction. Transaction just a record, right? Okay, so if this is a voting applications, for payments it should be a sender, recipient, amount. Then if this is a voting application, a transaction can be something like candidate name, one vote, something like this. This will make up your transaction. These are the data inside your transaction. We call it transaction data, right? If this is an auction application, you want to pick something, right? For example, someone wants to sell an old model of iPhone, right? So you can pick, right? Auction, you can pick. Oh, I want to buy RM1. You want to buy maybe using 10 ringgit, okay, 1,000 ringgit and so on, right? Okay, in this kind of application also transaction will be triggered using the application or this auction transaction, right? So you can imagine what will be inside the transaction for this case. It's not voting, it's not fund transfer, it's going to be bidding, right? So the transaction will be like only the amount okay? Alright, and the sender of course the bidder, sender, message sender, okay? And then the amount you want to bid 100 ringgit or 1 ringgit or 10 ringgit, right? This is transaction, okay? So at once, so if you have thought of transaction as this fund transfer only, okay, that's not true. Transaction here, transaction here very much depends on what kind of application that you are using. Okay, what kind of application they are using. Then the content of the transaction will be different. Okay, please make this clear, everyone. Okay, a very important takeaway for you for today. Okay, I hope that you certainly learn something that You might not be aware. Hey, transaction can mean different thing. Okay, not talk about financial transaction only. Alright, so we need transaction. Someone must initiate transaction. Okay, someone can be applications, can be your wallet, wallet that you use. Okay, so whatever things they can actually create the transaction. Okay. Alright, so next it will be broadcasted. See, this keyword can broadcast it. If this is a transaction, then the transaction must be broadcasted. Okay, broadcasted to all the nodes. So here you can see, in blockchain technology, we have many nodes, not a single node. There is no a centralized node. When I say broadcast, it will involve many nodes. And when I say many nodes, all the nodes inside must get the transaction. When I say broadcast to all the nodes, no one can miss up the transaction. Everyone must receive a copy of the transaction. Then when you are doing broadcasting, make sure if you broadcast the transaction from the first node to all the nodes in the network, to all. If you have 1 million nodes inside your blockchain network, make sure everyone will get it. Okay, the same transaction, exactly the same. Okay, so after that, what happened? All the nodes inside will validate the transaction. Okay, using the agree protocol. Okay, they'll verify in the same way. Okay, now second things that one must know. All the nodes will receive the transaction, of course, and then they will do the next thing in the same way. You know what to do, and all the nodes must do the same thing, must know what to do, and the things to be done tally with the rest. Okay, you do like this, I also do like this when I receive the transaction. You cannot doing a different thing, okay, for the rest. Everyone must do the same thing. So you follow certain protocol. Okay, so this depends on your blockchain network design. Okay, meaning to say, if you want to take part in this network, you must download a software in order for you to be able to do what to do, right? Or else you don't know what to do. If you download using a different software, you'll be doing the things different from others, right? So here in blockchain, node must be equipped with necessary software, which is downloadable. For example, Bitcoin. You can be a Bitcoin node, Don't know. You just download the software from somewhere, from a website. Okay? Then you get the software needed for you to run as a Bitcoin node. Okay? As a Bitcoin node. Okay? This is a very important requirement. Okay? Everyone must run the same software. Okay? Only you know what to do. Okay? Alright, so basically when you receive, you do validation, checking in other words, checking. So what kind of checking you do? A transaction, you want make sure it's valid. Okay? Usually transactions, there are some how to say requirements for the transaction, how you craft the transactions and so on. You want to make sure this one the format is correct and so on. Maybe you want to make sure this is not a duplicated copy. Okay. Before you broadcast to others, broadcasting means I receive, I will give it to others also, right? You don't give the wrong transaction, invalid transaction to others. You stop the broadcasting from your node, right? You receive, you check. If okay, only you broadcast. Continue to broadcast to other, propagate to other, right? If something wrong, are you going to do this again? To broadcast to other? No, right? It's no good, right? Okay, others will receive invalid transactions. So you must do a checking. Okay, this is already inside the protocol. It's already in the software. So everyone know these are everyone will do the same thing. Okay, so if you find anything wrong, for example, it's a duplicated, the ID maybe the same, duplicated transaction. So you just drop it, you won't broadcast. Okay, let's say you can check. This is maybe this is a simple fund transfer transaction, okay? And you need to double check whether the sender got enough balance or not, okay, in his account, okay. If not enough balance, you only have 1 Bitcoin, you want to send to someone 10 Bitcoin, okay, you make a transaction, you say, I'm the sender, you are the recipient, I want to give you 10 Bitcoin, okay, this is a transaction, right? You can always create this transaction and then broadcast, no problem. But someone must check whether this is a valid transaction or not. Okay, how to check? You, as a node, it's not your node, right? When you receive transaction, you try to check inside your record whether this sender got enough balance or not. Oh, if you find out only 1 Bitcoin but want to send 10 Bitcoin, of course this is become a invalid transaction. You should drop it. You shouldn't broadcast further. Okay, this kind of checkings will be needed. Okay. Alright, then after that, this transaction, okay, will be included in a block. Remember that as a node inside the network, you always will receive a lot of transactions from everywhere. Because transactions are broadcasted, right? So you get from here, get from there, okay? So you might get a lot of transactions, okay? Usually you need to hold all the received transaction in memory temporarily. You cannot process all. You cannot put inside a block. Okay? No, you are not supposed to do that. Okay? Because transactions will be included in a block by someone. Not everyone need to do this. That's why I tell you, okay, that all the nodes will receive transaction. Okay? But for the block that we are interested in, okay, it's not created by all the nodes. Okay, it's not created by all the nodes. Okay, there will be a selected, will be a selected block proposer. You call it block proposer. Okay, taking charge of block creation. Okay, how to select this block proposer we'll discuss next time lah. Okay, for today, you just understand that in blockchain we need block. Block is to hold transactions. Okay. And this block, what transaction to put inside the block is determined by one block proposer. Okay, someone, the selected one, will actually create the block. Okay, you will take the transactions and then put inside the block. And this block, okay, then later on will be shared with others. And other will do some checking again. And then there is no problem. Then this block will be added to the database, the ledger. We call it a ledger. Okay, so this block, okay, after verifications and so on, okay, then it will be included as the latest block. So before that, you have already many blocks. Okay, inside the blocks you have all the transactions. Okay, few thousand of transactions inside. Okay, all these are the transactions that initiated by someone. At the very beginning. Okay, so now it's all inside the block. For example, just now the transaction we discussed, so we go through this process, then will become one of the transaction inside here, and then added. And this is called confirmations of transactions. If your transactions is included in the block, and then also the block is added to the ledger, then we say this transaction has been confirmed. Okay? This is what we want. Okay, once your transaction is confirmed means you already, for example, simple payment application, then your payment is done. Okay? Right, just now? Right or not? If I have a transaction which is related to fund transfer, okay, then after I go through all this process, and at the end, my transaction, for example, to send 1 Bitcoin to someone, is appear inside this block, and this block is connected, is appended to the ledger, is included in the ledger, like this. Then the transaction is confirmed. They complete your transaction already. So before your transaction for transferring the fund added to the block and added to the ledger. No, you cannot tell the recipient, I already transferred to you. It's wrong because the transaction not yet confirmed. Not yet confirmed. Alright? Okay? Alright. So with that, then your transaction is complete. Okay? And then here you see, this is why we call blockchain. So we know the block. What's a block? Block is for you to store transactions. Okay? And then here, every blocks are linked actually. They are linked. Okay? They are linked cryptographically. Okay? We use cryptography here to link using hash function. Okay? To link all the block. Okay? So if someone make a change, okay, to some of the transactions inside a block, then we will have a chain effect. Okay, the chain will be noticeable. Okay, you can notice the change easily. Right, because of the hash value change in hash value. This is something that make all the block connected together. They are changed. Okay, so we call it cryptographic. This a chain, cryptographic chain, because we use hash function to link all the blocks together. Okay, so at the end we have a chain of block. Okay, so this is the blockchain process. This is the major things that happen okay, in blockchain. Okay, so now everyone have a better idea now. Okay, you learn about the concept of block. Okay, now you know what is the transaction. Okay, the real definition of transactions. Okay, then you know also in blockchain we use a lot of nodes. We use a peer-to-peer network actually. Okay, and all the nodes behave in the same way. Okay. Alright, so don't worry, we will go into details. Okay, when we come to the topic later on. This is just an overview. At least you roughly have the ideas only. Okay, what are the things inside blockchain? Right. Okay, to summarize, so with this kind of design, okay, with block with the cryptographic chain and so on, okay, then so we can have all these attribute that we want, okay. Okay, with the cryptographic chain, you got all the block, the transaction inside blocks are changed together, all the blocks are changed together, okay, then it's very difficult for you to change the content of any transactions inside the block. Okay, so give us data immutability. So it's not possible for you to change the transaction anymore. And then also this we can realize decentralization. This is the one of the main reason we use blockchain technology. We want to do decentralization. We want to remove the third party, remove the intermediaries. Okay, so in this case you can see we have a lot of nodes, but they are all peer. There is no centralized controlling entity in your network, right? Is there any centralized controlling entity? No, right? Okay, you don't need to depend on that third person, okay, third party, intermediary, orang tengah. Okay, no such a thing in blockchain. If you want to develop an application that you need to have a third party there, or else your system will not do well. Okay, then you cannot consider blockchain. You cannot consider. Okay, this is not the purpose of using blockchain. Because we want to go for decentralization. This is very important. Okay, and then by putting the transaction inside the block in every node will have the ledger, same ledger, same database. Okay, every node the ledger must be the same. Okay, so here when we have this record, this database on every node, okay, then everyone can go and check, okay, the content. Okay, as long as you connected to the network, you can see all the transaction recorded inside the block. So it is visible, okay, by everyone. So it's transparent to everyone. You cannot hide the transaction. Let's say I have transferred, okay, 1 Bitcoin to someone. This is a very simple example of transaction. Okay, my address, recipient address, and amount. These are information inside the transaction. Alright, so you can check. You can actually check. Okay, like Bitcoin, you can have explorers and so on. Bitcoin Explorer to check the transaction. You can always find out my transaction, how much money I transfer to that recipient. It's transparent. Everyone can know. Like bank, can you know your friend have transferred how much of money to another person and so on? No, right? Okay, you cannot check. But with this kind of system using blockchain, okay, then you'll be able to actually to see the transaction details. Okay, so make it transparent. Okay. This is something maybe good for certain application. Transparency doesn't mean always good for any application. No? Some application they emphasize on confidentiality, privacy, and so on. Okay, then this might not be very suitable. Okay, when you can see all the details. Right. And then trust. Okay. So with this design, it also provides us trust. Okay. Blockchain technology can provide you trust. Let's say I develop. If I don't have the design just now we have what kind of elements inside? Distributed ledger, yes, we do some verification, right? Okay, and so we have a consensus mechanism that we will discuss later, okay, in other chapter, okay, to make sure that we have consistency in our blockchain state, okay? Okay, so if we have all these things done, okay, then we can make sure our system is trustable. People will trust your system. If you come up with an electronic fund transfer system, you tell the whole world, hey, I come up with this electronic transfer system. You don't need to go to banks and so on. Okay, you can save your transaction fee. Okay, if you don't have a proper design, if you are not using blockchain, let's say for example, using another way, then you tell the whole world, okay, hey, please use my system to transfer your money to your son in US, studying in US and so on. Transfer 1 million to invest in Australia. So would you actually consider to use his system to transfer 1 million for investment purpose overseas? Wow, you want to take the risk, your hard-earned money, you know. Okay, you know, uncle, aunties, they spend their whole life to accumulate 1 million, okay, for investment. Okay, so you need to transfer money. Would they consider using your system? No, right? If you cannot give them trust, right? To get the trust is not easy, okay? If someone comes to you to want to pinjam money from you, can you lend me 1,000 ringgit, for example, would you provide the 1,000 ringgit immediately to your friend? No, why? No trust. So trust is something that you need to do a lot of things to build, right? You might need to spend a lot of time with your friends, okay? Then you know her very well and so on. Then you're willing to lend 1,000 ringgit, right? If someone that you don't know well suddenly ask for 1,000, you won't give, right? Because lack of trust, right? Same thing happens to here. If you can prove you do a lot of things, okay, you have this immutable recording, you have verification done, you have a consensus, a good consensus mechanism used in your system, okay, and other blah blah blah, then people will have trust in you. And so this is very important. With blockchain, yes, because you have this immutable ledger, verification, validations, and so on. So you can trust blockchain technologies in this case. Okay, this is I usually will say the application that you build using blockchain technology can be a trusted system. You have a trusted system built to all these things. Right? So you can see we can get all these things when we are using blockchain technology to develop our applications. Right? Alright, so this one we'll leave it to next time. I think we are most of the time, is it? Let me check. Oh no, still early. Okay, still early. Okay, so we can discuss about this consensus protocol. Okay, when you learn blockchain, okay, definitely you will come across this term called consensus protocol. Okay, so what's a consensus protocol? Okay, Okay, just now I mentioned that. Go back to this slide. Okay. Every node inside the network, you have a ledger. Ledger are those blocks, okay, which are linked together, right? Very long list of blocks. Inside the block got what? Transactions, okay? Transaction from many applications, okay. All right. So every time we will add in one new block, okay? Add in, okay? One new block. Okay. So the problem is how to measure. Now in this design, we have so many nodes, and also we tell all the nodes, hey, you must measure your ledger same with others. So my ledger same with yours. Your one also same with him. Okay. Is this a very easy things to do? If I want to make sure everyone have the same ledger, how should I do it? Right? We need to say every time you should add in the right block, right? And the block, of course, inside must having the same thing, same list of transactions, same sequence, everything's the same. Everything the same, same transactions inside the block. If I in this new block, if got 2023 transactions, okay, then the block that you add in also should be the same number of transactions, and the sequence also must be the same. Okay? The sequence transactions are included in a block also must be the same. Okay, so if every time you add, you append the same block, okay. Every node, okay, append the same block. Then of course at the end the ledger will be always the same, right? It won't go wrong, right? So next time there is a new block created, I will add the same block like what you are doing also. Okay? Every time like this, everyone will maintain the same ledger. This is what we want, okay? Because you want a single source of truth. Single source of truth. We need to say, if I got anything to inquire, I can look for your node and then tell me the information about certain transaction. Okay, then you can tell me. Okay, if I ask someone else the same question, you also should return the same answer to me, because I assume your record, your ledger, actually same like your record here, right? And everyone up there also should have the same record, right? Okay. The ledger is always the same. So we have a consistency, okay, inside your database. Okay? But this is very difficult to achieve unless, like what I said just now, how to ensure everyone have the same one. That means every time you must add in the same block. It's very important. If someone, one of you make a different block and add in, then we cannot ensure consistency anymore, right? Yeah. So what we want to achieve is very simple. It's very simple, and it's important. It's important. But how to make sure that everyone will actually add the same block, right? This is a problem. Because if you allow everyone to build the block and broadcast for other, hey, I built, okay, and ask someone, hey, okay, please accept my block, okay, because you know in the design of blockchain, whoever build the block and the block get added to the ledger of everyone, this guy will get reward, okay, this guy will get the reward, okay. So everyone actually want to propose. If you are told that you will receive money, okay, if you manage to propose a block and then the block get added to the ledger, would you want to do it or not? Of course yes, right? I want every time. I'm the one who proposed a block and then everyone use my block and add to their ledger, right? And you get money, right? Okay. Then a lot of people will compete, will compete to do that. Okay? Everyone want to build, and then everyone will broadcast the block they build, okay, and then to others, okay, and then how you going to decide? In this case, as a node inside the network, okay, you receive so many different proposed block, okay, from so many people. Those people are crazy for money. They also will try their best to propose the block. So which one you want to use? You receive a few. So which one you want to add? If I add this one to my ledger, and then another guy choose a different one, because he also receive a lot of proposed block, right? So he add to his ledger. Once again got problem, right? Because you are not adding the same, two of them are not adding the same block to the ledger, right? Okay. So how to solve this problem? Then you must agree on a single block only. Yeah, all of you can go and propose, okay? But I only will choose one, okay? I only will choose one, okay? So which is the one that everyone should choose? Then we need a consensus, a common agreement, okay? On which block is the one that we should accept. That we mean everyone, must add to the ledger, right? So we need to have a way to determine, okay? And the way to determine is the same, because you are all downloading the same software to run as a node inside the blockchain network, right? Okay? So the agreement that I'm talking about here, okay, is the consensus protocol, okay? So there are many possible ways to determine which proposed block we should take and then add the ledger. There's so many ways. Okay, so we have so many different this consensus protocol that we can use. Okay, and this consensus protocol, okay, always start with proof of something. Okay, don't worry. Today is not the timing for me to explain further about this consensus protocol, but it's important to let you know in blockchain technology this is a very important mechanism, or else your blockchain technology cannot work. Okay, because we want to maintain consistency in the ledger. Okay, so this one we'll discuss further later on, but I hope you can understand why we need this. Okay, don't worry, I will go back again to this topic when we come to this chapter. Alright. Okay, so in this course, okay, because the list can go on. This is not an exhaustive list. Okay, so we can have many others. Actually, there's a bunch of consensus protocol update that has been proposed. You also can propose a new one. Okay, as long as you know the purpose of this consensus protocol, you can propose a new one. Okay, the famous one will be the proof of work and proof of stake. Okay, so in our course today, we just focus on these two. Okay? You need to understand properly these two. Okay, for the rest you can, if you're interested, you can explore more. But at least you must understand properly how it works. This proof of work and proof of stake. Okay. Okay, now there is a question for everyone. So after you have heard about these blockchain technologies, okay, you know they got transactions involved. Okay, you have heard about storing transaction inside a block, and then the block will be added to the ledger. Okay, and then you cannot change it anymore. Once your transactions have been included in a block and your block have been added to the ledger, it is confirmed. Okay? So the transaction is considered confirmed. After the transaction has been confirmed, you no longer can go and change the transaction. Okay? You cannot change the transaction from maybe sender A to recipient B. The amount 10 Bitcoin you change to 9 Bitcoins and so on. No longer you can do that. Okay? Alright. So, after hearing all these things, do you feel that this blockchain, hey, it's just another database storing data only, right? Is it true? What do you think? How many of you think that, hey, this blockchain technology actually just another database? Can you raise your hand? Just another database. No? Not just another database? Actually, no, right? Okay. In conventional database, I believe you have developed application using database like MySQL, Postgres, SQL, and so on, right? Okay, especially RSW student. I think majority of you are RSW, right? And then some RS, RSD, and so on, right? I think you have used database. You know what's a database. You have been introduced to database, alright? Maybe your diploma time, maybe, right? Okay, so in conventional database, is there any controlling entity like admin and so on? They can manage the database, delete the record and so on? Cannot? No. Database administrator, okay? You don't need to access the database using your app. You can also using other tools also you can access the database, right? As long as you are authorized, right? You'll be able to do the CRUD lah. You can create you can delete lah, and so on, update and so on. Okay. So think about blockchains again. If you say it is just another database, then you should be able to change, update, delete and so on. Is it possible in the case of blockchain? No, right? There's no any admin for your database, right? For blockchain, the ledger. There's no admin. Okay, try to recall the story just now. They really, no such a database admin, okay? But database, yes, right? Okay, so it's different. And in your convention database, you can always insert something, you can always update something, right? Update certain value, no problem. Okay? Conventional database, you can do it. But here, in blockchain, you always append new block. That means new record or new transaction actually always will be appended. Can you go back to the previous transaction in other block and then let's do some update and so on? You want to delete? No way, right? Correct or not? So, it's not just another database. Okay? Different. You totally cannot do anything with the transaction that already confirmed. Alright? This is very different from conventional database. Okay. And then one more thing that I want to tell you, that it also supports smart contract. This is very different from database. Okay. In blockchain, okay, it supports executions of smart contract. Okay. As we know that blockchain can be used to store transaction. No one disagree, right? Blockchain, you have a ledger, you have block. Inside block, you can put transaction. In other words, you can store transaction into block, or you can store transaction into blockchain. Agree? Okay. For transactions, I also have tell you, depends on application. Then your transaction content will be different, right? Voting application will have different kind of transaction. Fund transfer application will look different, right? Auction related application different. Okay. So here, someone actually proposed to store something called smart contract inside a transactions. Okay. So here, blockchain also can be used to store program. Smart contract basically are programs. Okay. So you can store programs into blockchain. This is something very different from database. In the conventional database, can you store program or not? Cannot, right? Okay. So you cannot say blockchain is just another database. It's totally not true. Okay. So here, okay, where we can support smart contract. Okay, what's a smart contract for that? Okay, smart contract is a program that you can store inside blockchain and then get executed. We can call the functions inside the program when it is needed. Okay, you can call anytime. Okay, and then the logic that you have programmed inside the smart contract will be executed okay, automatically. Okay, this is just like your agreement, okay, and so on. Smart contract is just like your agreement. Have you signed any agreement before with your landlord, for example, where you are staying, renting a house? So you sign. You are the one who signed. Yeah. So good. Not everyone needs to sign, right? Only one representative needs to sign. Let's say we have 3 students or 6 students staying in a single unit. One person to sign or everyone needs to sign? One, right? You have the one,
I mean like one room, one sign.
Really? I mean got 3 room, the 3 person need to sign. Oh, like this Not one person to represent the whole unit. Okay? So this is maybe one of the example agreement that you sign. Okay? So in a traditional agreement like this is called tenancy agreement, right? Okay. So it will spell out all the rules, condition, right? Correct or not? All the clauses and so on. If you didn't pay for 3 months, what will happen? Rental for 3 months. You forgot to pay. Penalty, how much? Okay. So if your tenants, okay, not going to pay you for 3 months. Okay, so what will happen actually? The conditions, the terms, and so on, all the clauses mentioned, the agreement will be executed lah. Okay, how to enforce? How to enforce these executions of the agreement that you have? Into maybe look for lawyers and so on, right? So it's very tedious, right? Okay. So with this smart contract, that is different. Whatever that has been agreed, whatever that has been programmed, then it will be executed. Okay. Okay. So for example, maybe you have some crypto deposited in this account. Okay. Once this happened, okay, they say you didn't pay for 3 months. Okay. So the conditions are met lah. Okay. Then the agreement will be executed automatically. Okay, meaning to say the money from the deposit will be deducted. Okay, will go to the landlord, right? Right? The money they have deposited into the account will be executed by the smart contract. Smart contract will do all these things automatically. Okay. So this is the beauty of using smart contract. All those rules, conditions, policies, and so on will be executed without any problem. Okay, no one can stop the execution. Okay, and it can be done automatically as long as all the conditions are met already. Okay, it's just like your what is this? Auto vending machine. Yuanti got a lot of this kind of vending machine nowadays. Mini family mart lah, blah 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 blah. Okay. You can find at our outside of our block B, right? Okay, so it's like this. So a smart contract just like your this auto vending machine. So you give the input, you select the thing you want, you press a button, okay, then the output will come out from here. Okay, this is just like a smart contract. Okay, the logic will be auto executed. Right. So initially, blockchains mainly used for recording, transaction recording. Agree or not? Like you can think of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the very earliest blockchain network. Okay, Bitcoin. Okay. So Bitcoin, you can don't do anything else apart from transferring Bitcoin from one account to another account. Can you do anything else with Bitcoin? Cannot, right? Okay, because they don't have the support for smart contract. Okay, it's important to have this smart contract support, or else, just like Bitcoin, you will have very limited application. You cannot do much thing. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so in order for you to be able to use this blockchain for many different applications, then we need the support of smart contract. Okay, that's why in those newer blockchain platform like Solana, Cardano, okay, so many of them now, they all support smart contract. Okay, so that's why you can use a blockchain to do many applications. Okay, we'll discuss about the applications that we can make use of blockchains next week. Right? This is an example of smart contract that you are going to write a lot. This kind of smart contracts from now on. Okay, in your practical. Okay, don't worry about the syntax. You will learn. Okay. Okay, so for the platform, okay, we have. Let me check the time. Sorry. I need to give you your pin code. Oh, okay, can. Okay, so this will be our last part for today's lecture. So you see, a lecture 2 hours sometimes can be very torturing. Too much of content. As I mentioned to you early on, we try to capture those important things only. Okay, for example, the blockchain flow. Just now, what happens when you have a transaction? So later on, what happens to the transaction? Okay, before it get confirmed. Okay, try to understand that. And try to clear your understanding on transaction, because we are going to use this term very frequently. Okay. Okay, so this is the last part of today's lectures. We are talking about types of blockchain. Okay. So in blockchains, we have public blockchain, private blockchains, permission, or so-called consortium blockchain. Maybe I use this paper to do a comparison. Okay. The one that you may know is public blockchain, like Bitcoin is public. Why we call it public? Because it's open up for everyone. Okay, meaning to say, if you want to join, you can join anytime. And when you join, you don't need to apply. You don't need to get permission. Okay, think of Bitcoin. If you want to join the Bitcoin network, it's very simple. What you need to do is download the software from the website, and then set up your node. Then you join to the network already. So do you need to send application form, fill out the form, and then ask approval and so on to join? No need. Okay? So you can join anytime. Download and join. Okay. Now you want to leave, don't want to take part in the Bitcoin network already. What you do? Disconnect only. Okay? Do you need to apply again to, hey, I want to withdraw myself from this Bitcoin network, please approve and so on. No need. So you can join in and leave anytime without any permission needed. So this is public blockchain. Okay, and everyone, okay, can actually view the transaction on this kind of public blockchain. Okay, everyone can view the transaction. No one can stop you from viewing. Okay, so this is the characteristics of a public blockchain. Like Ethereum also the same. Bitcoin, Ethereum, all are public. Okay. Who can write? Everyone can write. Everyone. Okay. Don't need to ask for permissions. Okay. Public blockchain. Okay. It's not owned by anyone. Like Bitcoin, is it controlled by anyone? Controlled by the Biden? No. Controlled by any government? No. Right? Bitcoin, right? So you want to bring down Bitcoin network? Is it possible? Someone can issue an order to bring it down? Cannot, right? Okay, so no one can do that. Okay, but internet can someone bring down? Internet, yes. You have DNS, DNS system and so on. Okay, you have control over the DNS system. Basically, you also can bring down. Right. So here for public one, no. Okay, no one can actually control. There is no any controlling entity there. Okay. There is no any controlling entity. Okay, and then participant none. No, we don't know who they are. Okay, because you're joining, you are actually doing the transaction based on address, Bitcoin address, Ethereum address, and so on. Right? So you only know the address, but you don't know the owner of the address. You won't be able to know the owner of the address. Okay. Transaction speed, this one will be very slow. Okay. In fact, in Bitcoin network, it can only process about around 7 transactions per second. 7 transactions only per second. So it's very slow. So why is it so slow? There are many reasons. Okay, because of the consensus protocol that they need to run. Okay, because the decentralized nature of the network. Okay, actually will make this kind of public blockchain very slow. Okay, so it might not be suitable for certain application that require a very high transaction throughput. Okay, how about private? Okay, private you need permission. You need permission to take part in that network. Okay. Okay, who can read and write? Okay, of those invited user or this authorized participant only can participate to the network. Okay, if you are not authorized to join in the network, then you cannot use the network. Okay, okay, and it's controlled by someone. Okay, for private blockchain, this one's very close. Private and consortium blockchains are very close. Private is controlled by, this is the main difference to differentiate between these two. Okay. So private is controlled only by a single entity. Let's say DAUNT private blockchain, so it's controlled by DAUNT. Okay. So whoever want to use the network and so on, okay, need to be authorized, approved, and so on. But it's very fast. And who are the participants? We know because we authorize them to come in to the private network, so we know who they are. Alright. Okay, and then it's very fast because usually private network you cannot expect too many nodes. Let's say DAUNT set up a private one for its own usage. Okay, so maybe you want to prepare a few nodes only. Okay, so the consensus protocol also very simple. Okay, you don't need to. It's not a very decentralized manner. Only a few nodes. How can I say it's very decentralized, right? Okay, compared to like Bitcoin got maybe millions of nodes across the world. Okay, here only a few nodes. So to confirm transaction is very easy, so it's very fast. Okay, so this one consortium almost seems like private, except here we have multiple entity to control the network. Okay, not only, for example, DAUNT private blockchain only depend on DAUNT. But multiple entity means the other entity also can actually invite someone to join in and so on, approve someone to join in and so on. Okay, like usually like supply chain. Supply chain is a very good example of consortium this blockchain. Okay, another name for consortium blockchain is permission. Permission. Okay, blockchain. Same. Okay. So everyone remember. Okay. To differentiate these two, basically you look at the how many controlling entity in that network. Okay, supply chain usually will involve multi-stakeholder, right? Like reseller, like the distributor, like the manufacturer, raw material provider, blah blah blah. Okay, there are a lot of stakeholder inside this ecosystem. Okay, so consortium blockchain will be suitable for supply chain management kind of usage. Okay. All right. So everyone, this is a comparison between these three type of blockchain. Okay. Okay. So this is some example of blockchain that we have. Ethereum is a public one. Okay. Hyperledger, this is a Fabric. This is a permissions and so on. Okay. And Bitcoin also public. Okay. And these two can support or logic-oriented means you can support smart contract. Okay, so these two can support smart contract. Like Bitcoin cannot support smart contract. Okay. Okay, so this is Bitcoin. Okay. Okay, Bitcoin. So we have native currency called Bitcoin. So this is a public one. Okay, this is used for currency exchange only because it doesn't support smart contract. It cannot do other things. Ethereum, it can be faster. The native cryptocurrency used inside the network is Ether. Okay, so it supports smart contract. Okay. And then we also have Fabric. This is a private one. Okay, by IBM. Okay, so transaction speed is very high. Okay, just some example of different type of this blockchain that we have. Okay, so tomorrow, next week we are going to discuss about some usage, okay, of blockchain. Okay, maybe some of the use case you are not aware. Okay, so we discuss. Okay, and if possible, I will invite someone from Thailand. Okay, a lecturer from Thailand to have this sharing section with all of you lah. Okay, I will try to arrange his. He is also teaching blockchain. I may want him to talk about some use cases in Thailand lah. Okay, use cases of blockchain in Thailand. Okay, hopefully he can deliver. Okay, so one is confirmed. I will announce to all lah. All right. Okay, so now the most important thing you need to take your attendance. This is also something that I need to inform all of you. You must make sure you have taken your attendance. Check your history after you have taken your attendance. I'm not going to entertain any request to take attendance for you when near to the cut-off time. Okay, for barring, right? Okay, around week 11 or week 12, right? Okay, see forgot already. Week 11 or 12, week 12, Bali, right? Okay, so make sure you take the responsibility to double confirm that you have taken your attendance properly. Okay, check your history. Don't tell me, sir, this I forgot to take my attendance and so on. Please help me to take. I'm not going to entertain. Right? Okay, so that's all for today. Any question? If no question, then we can dismiss already. Okay, thank you everyone. See you again next week.
What, you don't have to walk?
Sorry, 这个是
Yeah, you guys are fighting.
我放成繁体。